All right, everybody, we are about to start Nanoa versus Sen. It's actually going to happen this time. I know you don't believe me, but it's actually going to happen this time.
You know the movie Groundhog's Day?
I know it.
I feel like I've introed this game so many times.
We're gonna call it Nanoa Day after today.
Yeah,
man.
Nanoa Day. He pops out. Let's see if he looks at his shadow. The game is starting because we just wanted to get this underway as soon as humanly possible. So let's make some noise for Sen against Nanoa.
The game is loading. I can't believe it's
finally
happening.
Woo! All right. So I think we've done, enough discussion as far as like the story behind these guys. So let's go ahead and get right into this game. Over here in the upper right, potentially the best Zerg in Southeast Asia. Make some noise for Sen. And sharing the top, one of the fastest improving Protosses in the pro gaming scene, residing currently in Korea and participating in the GSL. Make some noise for Nanoa. Can I just say, this has actually been one of the funnest audiences.
They've been pretty good.
You guys have been great.
What a bunch of good sports out there.
All right. So, a few things. First of all, they're very close by air. So, if Protoss does go Mutalisks in the mid game, that could be pretty tricky for. Excuse me, if the Zerg goes for Mutalisks in the mid game, it could be pretty tricky for the Protoss. And it's also a map where the Protoss is generally required to fast expand. I mean, you could, hypothetically do a one base build. But at the same time, it's a situation where it's very easy to fast expand, so all the Protosses do it. Generally, if you can get away with a fast expand, you should try to do that over a one-base build. General rule of thumb.
And there's already something that's happened that is extremely high level from Nanoa here. He actually went down, built his 9 pylon, and then instead of scouting after it like we almost always see, he decided to go back and mine with it. Now, you might not think that one probe means a lot, but it has allowed him to go Nexus first here safely. And unless Sen had randomly gone for a very quick spawning pool, which Sen is not at all known for in this matchup, this was a very smart move by Nanoa, already showing that he's planned for this match quite deeply.
Yeah, he is a very calculated player. You can learn a lot about a good player by just seeing how tight his build orders are. Build orders.
God.
Oh, what? Let's see how tight this build order is.
I tell you what, Sen right now is making 8 Zerglings. They just popped out, 2 more on the way. Nanoa could be in a ton of trouble here.
Does this actually work?
This works.
I guess it does. The point here for the Protoss is that they want to wall themselves in.
And there you go, the Evolution Chamber. What this does is it can finish. It's cheap. And once it finishes, when you kill it, a bunch of Broodlings come out. So very smart move by Sen here. This is going to be a very tense moment. When these Zerglings get in, Nanoa is not going to be happy.
This should be a very short game. It's a risky strategy. And as you can see, canceled again. And it looks like now he is just going to focus on attacking in there with his Zerglings since the wall-in does not quite work. Nanoa's got to control his probes so well right now. This is actually a strategy we really rarely ever see.
Man.
It's so impressive. He's in. He's breached the base. He's going up into the main.
A lot of probes did go down there. A lot of Zerglings are in the main base. Nanoa is in so much trouble right now. It's really hard to even comprehend. He might even die to this one attack.
Yeah, I mean, this is so difficult to recover from, especially somebody like Sen, who's got such good control. Goodbye, pylon. Well, maybe goodbye, probes. Excuse me. He just needs to make sure he keeps as many Zerglings alive. It continues to maneuver around, making the probes attack instead of mine. Every probe not mining has a lot of money that's lost. It's pretty huge. He will get the pylon here, and this may actually will drop the supply considerably.
Nanoa cannot be happy with this. Sen has given up very little to be able to do this, and in fact,
oh my God, he's making a hatchery.
He's going to make a hatchery in the main base. Sen being an absolute baller right now. If that hatchery does not get scouted, Nanoa's going to be in a lot of trouble.
And, you know, there's a high chance with all this confusion going on, anyone might have not caught that drone moving.
Yes,
that's
exactly.
a real thing that happens even to the best of the best, is when you're just this caught up and just trying to hunt down the Zerglings. When the probe disappears, you might have thought you killed it when you were just back at your expansion making stuff, when in fact, another hatchery is on the way over here.
Now all he has to do is keep these Zerglings alive. It's going to keep Nanoa's attention on them instead of scouting his own base. You're not going to scout your own base when there's Zerglings in it. You're just going to focus on trying to kill them off. So as long as he has these 3 alive, Tasteless, it is a huge, huge deal. I love that Sen is actually making a hatchery here.
Unbelievable. I don't even know where it's going to go from here. He is getting a roach warren. It looks like he wants to get some roaches over there because, of course, the Zealot's not going to be very strong against roaches. Oh, one Zergling still alive.
That. He's got to keep that Zergling alive. Really, not even about the damage anymore. It's about keeping Nanoa occupied. It does go down. Now, will Nanoa scout his base? Uh-oh, the hatchery is done.
He sees the creep.
Right now, we do have a queen making at that hatchery. He's going to want it for larva injects. And as that roach warren finishes, 3 roaches will be on the way. Another zealot is being chronoboosted out, but a couple of zealots against 3 roaches is just no good.
I got to say, this is going to be a moment where we're really going to see how good Naniwa is at thinking on his feet. This is not something you get to really practice against. And, I mean, when that queen comes out and larva injects that hatchery, that, I think, might be the beginning of the end. That's going to be very, very tough for Naniwa to hold on. And roaches coming out. Remember, they're very strong against zealots.
That zealot having to run away, trying to make some cannons right now, but that is 3 roaches and a queen. All the probe's going to come down, but there is no way he's going to take out these roaches right now.
Oh my God, he's going for the pylons. Remember, a lot more roaches are about to pop out. The cannon being attacked.
Beautiful job with these roaches right now. He's larva injected the hatchery. A lot more units are on the way, but Nanoa cannot keep this up forever. He can't just make cannons nonstop. And in fact, this one cannon gonna be picked off. Those roaches doing a phenomenal job.
Yeah, absolutely brilliant. These pylons getting low. No, he's backing up, but right now Nanoa's losing a lot of probes.
Nanoa trying so hard to hold on, using his stalkers and micro to the best of his ability. These roaches, though, they are so deadly. As soon as they catch up those stalkers, they will deal huge amounts of damage. And I mean, this is just too much damage, Tasteless. Nanoa is in so much trouble here.
I have to say, Nanoa is doing a good job controlling those stalkers, but here's another problem. Those stalkers can't be 2 places at once, and no way in hell are those roaches behind the minerals going to be stopped. The stalker is about to go down. The 3rd base being taken.
Sen right now has a huge amount of drones, 55 against 25 probes. He's absolutely dominating Nanoa at the moment. But Nanoa is trying to hold on. He's trying to find some way to come back here, but losing more probes, that is not the way to do it.
All right, the probe is being taken out. And honestly, Nanoa is just hanging on by a thread. If he can somehow get rid of this hatchery, that would do it, but you know, Sen's being really smart. He's making sure the roaches are always split up, so that there's really no way for Nanoa to ever focus on that hatchery. Also note Sen at 93 supply to Naniwa's 38.
Well, this is just looking pretty bad, man. I mean, he's going to clean up the roaches. He's going to clean up the hatchery, no doubt, as well. But in the meantime, Sen is getting absolutely everything at home. I mean, he has a ton of drones. In fact, he is about to be at 78 drones against just a measly 30 probes. He's got 3 base against 2. This is the most terrible circumstance that Protoss can be in.
You know, I gotta say, though, Naniwa's doing a good job staying alive. I just don't know, even if he holds this off, where do you go from here, you know?
Not very far, man.
Not very far, I think.
And, I mean, these last 10 units, he's trying to do what he can with them, but notice he's not making anything else out of the hatchery. He realizes one factor, and then he starts some things out of the hatchery. Just trying to keep his opponent busy right now. I mean, the supply, 106 to 48. Nanoa has been doubled. He has no real tech to speak of, just making warp gates right now.
Oh my God, he's about to take the entire right side of the map here. And he's actually making overlords out of there to try to send them outside. Probably a reprehensible decision to do that. Naniwa This is the moment we're going to see if Naniwa can climb that mountain that is Sen, with Sen having such a massive lead. Sen being so good, it's going to be very difficult, if not impossible, for him to recover. But we'll see. Naniwa is a very talented player.
Well, Sen with this many bases, this many drones. In fact, he just started 15 roaches at once while getting +1 melee, speed, roach speed, and +1 armor. I mean, he is just so many worlds ahead of Nanoa right now. The creep spread is starting to come out. I'm trying to figure out what Nanoa is going to do. He's getting his Twilight Council probably for Blink. If he goes DTs, that's about as all in as you can get. But that might be one of his best chances.
So basically all Sen has to do is start making roaches, upgrading stuff. It's really up to Naniwa to figure out how to get out of this position. Sen has such a massive lead, it's going to be incredibly difficult for Sen to lose this. Oh my god, really? Okay, he's going to expand again.
Sen just taking the whole map. He knows how far ahead he is right now. Looks like he's going to map own Nanoa here. Nanoa, in the meantime, not really getting anything once his Twilight Council finished. I'm really beginning to wonder what he's planning to do with that. He has made 3 more roaches with his last larva in that base. Of course, it's not going to do too much damage.
All right, the roach is now moving out. And that's really just to keep the stalkers inside the base and not moving outside, being active on the map. As Sen is getting bigger and better in this game. Sentries are out, he's chrono boosting out +1 attack. The Lings just spill up. Oh man, and the roach is coming here cleaning this up. I think Sen actually might be able to kick in the front door.
It does look like a couple good force fields going off, but Nanoa's main army being destroyed. It's down by over 100 supply right now. And as these force fields wear off, I mean, he still has a lot more sentries, so he's going to hold on here. Nanoa not wanting to give up, but the supply is 73 to 168. And that's a gigantic difference. It's going to be 5 bases against 2. It's an insurmountable position here. I mean, he's about to pop a Spire, then we're going to see about 20 mutas put into production.
Yeah, literally 20 mutas.
Yep, that's going to happen. We're going to see it.
That's our reality right now. He's going to get 20 mutas. Now, here's the truth, is that assuming that Naniwa loses this, and any logical person in the world would say Naniwa should lose this, he's going to be in a very bad state of mind going into game number 2. Talk about a frustrating uphill battle that he lost.
Indeed, but if he can keep his mind free of that, he can always say to himself, okay, Sen has to be a little bit nervous. He had me dead forever, but I didn't die. And that's always something nice to be able to do.
All right, nice job here with the force field, keeping this out. Is he going to get that cybernetics core? That would be pretty huge. I mean, no more stalkers.
Oh my god.
And he's going to get the forge as well.
He was throwing away supply. There are 27 Mutalisks in production right now. 30 Mutalisks in production. He's trying to lose units. 33 Mutalisks in production. Sen actually wants to lose all these units, Aces.
All right, so get ready for a lot of mutas to be on the map.
Oh my god. That is a murder of mutas if I ever saw one.
That is like just so many mutalisks. I can really believe it.
Oh, dude.
He took out the cybernetics core too, so he can't even make any stalkers. And the gateway's not powered. Wow, this is actually one of the scariest games I've ever seen from Sen.
Sen right now has 40 mutas. I'm just going to let that sink in. There are 13 stalkers and 5 sentries out. Now,
all right,
I'm not the greatest mather, but 40 mutas are about to fly into his base.
Watch this.
Look at it. He's clumping them as tight as he can. Sen is showing off right now.
That's
GG.
it.
Oh.
He got a glimpse of the mutas, and that was where it ended.
Wow.
Man, I have not seen a game like that from a Zerg player in quite some time.
You know, if we look back at what happened, Nanoa did a very greedy economic build. He went for a Nexus first, and then he went ahead. He got like a second pylon. He got his forge. He was being as greedy as you can be, but Sen drone scouted and then punished him for it. He saw, oh, what are you doing? Okay, I'll throw down a hatchery, make a bunch of Lings, and run in there. There's no way you're going to be able to wall off, and my Lings are going to get in. And Lings against probes, it's pretty brutal.
Yeah, it is, you know, the hatchery blocking that and everything. that was great. But the fact that he kept that momentum going, and to be frank, I think almost no Protoss in the world, whether it be MC or Sage or anybody else, would have gotten out of that, to be frank. I mean, that was pretty much a checkmate position, especially against somebody like Sen. And what a great way to end that game with the Mutalisks like that. Just perfect play. I'm really impressed. We are going to wait for game number 2 to be loaded up here. I look forward to seeing what exactly Sen's going to do this game. Sen generally a little bit more orthodox, a little bit more of an orthodox player, excuse me. So, this style that he's showing us is pretty impressive.
It is. He's very reactive, a smart player who's played for a long time. I love to see it when a player can actually just go ahead, see what's wrong with what someone's doing, and punish them for it.
Yeah. Excuse me. The game is actually, the countdown has started, so let's make some noise. Let's see if this game is as awesome as game number 1 was here with Sen against Naniwa. All right, we're on. In the bottom right starting location, we have our green Protoss. He's down 1 game. He needs your support. Make some noise for Naniwa. Meanwhile, up 1 game, showing one of the more impressive Zerg versus Protoss games I have ever seen. Give it up for Sen.
Well, Nanoa has chosen another map to Forge Fast Expand on, and it looks like he's going to do a very similar build as well.
Yeah.
He's not going to scout with that probe. That's going to allow him to go Nexus first. But if Sen scouts him right away and Nanoa gets a little bit too greedy, we could see something similar to last game.
Yeah, I'm curious. Is he going to do the exact same build?
Oh,
he does seem to be moving his
scout.
probe up. And it looks like he might get a Forge here. Early on, I don't really blame him after that last game.
Yeah, that's an awfully quick Forge as well, an 11 Forge. We don't normally see it that quickly. Normally on a map like Tal'Darim Ultra, a 4-player map of this size, you're going to see a 13 Forge. And to see it on 11, I'm really interested to see exactly what Nanoa's plan is with this.
Yeah, we haven't seen probes sent out yet, so I mean, it wouldn't be a quick cannon rush, it looks like, but I don't know. I'm not sure.
Yeah, well, we'll have to see. He looks like he is going to just throw down a blind cannon very quickly on 15. Definitely not a build that I'm used to seeing.
Does this actually math out? Is this?
Well, I think that this is something that he could easily go ahead and stop a quick pool with. Because sometimes, it has become much more popular, especially on the Korean server, to go for a very quick spawning pool on a map like Tal'Darim.
Like a 6 pool?
Yeah, something like that. Now, he might be able to hold something like that with this. I don't know the exact timings, but it's interesting to me that he has just gotten that cannon immediately, and now he's just going to go for the Nexus. No scouting whatsoever.
So the Nexus is on the way. And as Artosa said, yeah, this guy is playing blind right now. He's basically giving up all intel, all information to try to squeeze out an economy and have a defense at the same time.
Well, Sen in the meantime, not getting any gas yet. Just a couple Zerglings out so that he can scout the map a bit more, kill probes and whatnot. And it looks like he's going to go for a nice and quick 3rd base. A very good choice against what Nanoa has done here. But of course, Nanoa has taken so long to scout, he's gotten up a pretty quick Nexus. And that's going to allow him to hit a slightly quicker timing than what Sen is probably used to.
Yeah, and a lot of this game is about tempo, so that's definitely something that has to be respected here, is the fact that Naniwa does have just a really weird timing, as you said, Artosis. It's going to be a little bit earlier, and I'm looking forward to seeing how Sen deals with that.
Well, right now we have the gateway finishing up. The probe going to be taken out pretty quickly here. Cybernetics score going up, but we're not really going to know what's going on for a little bit more as that Cybernetics core starts the warp gate upgrade. After that, that's when we're going to be able to figure out what Nanoa is doing. Before that, it's pretty standard. Make a lot of probes, get a few extra units out, hit your pylons, maybe even grab another gas or 2.
Well, let's see here. They're probably just going to continue to chrono boost out probes. both sides here. When you do quick expand builds like this, you have to stay on workers. You're not allowed to just transition right into a quick attack because it's just not an easy thing to do. So they're going to keep making the probes. We see the Stargate up here now.
Very quick Stargate.
Perhaps a Void Ray.
Yeah, I think we'll definitely see a Void Ray and then some Phoenixes. Nanoa is actually, in my opinion, the best Void Ray Phoenix user in the world in this matchup.
Oh, yeah, actually, I think that's true.
Yeah, he really knows how to pick things off. You look at the Zerg base and you'll say, you know what? I play StarCraft 2. I've seen this before. No damage is being dealt here. And then Nanoa will proceed to kill 5 queens, a spawning pool, and 10 overlords. And it's just absolutely amazing to watch. So I'm very excited to see him going for this tech route here.
We'll have to see how much Sen spreads out his overlords, because when you spread out your overlords, that's the first moment or first indicator where you have a high chance of actually losing a lot to that Void Ray. Now we see the Zealot coming in here, and this is a nice little harass build here.
But Sen very ready with those 3 queens, using a few drones as well, repelling Nanoa's little pressure very, very well. That's supposed to force a lot of Zerglings, but Sen only started 4, knowing that that is the max amount he would need with all of the queens that he had prepared.
Yeah, Sen is really playing like a pro. The Void Ray is about to pop out, so even if the Overlord scouts a Stargate, it'll be all too late. Oh, excuse me, perhaps not. It depends on when he decides to hide it. Okay, he will show it.
Well, that Overlord giving his life for some very, very valuable information. And we don't have actually an evolution chamber yet. Just Sen is only using queens at the moment, which is really interesting. Just now starting the evolution chamber. But he has enough queens that he's not going to be scared, at least for a little bit. When you have 1 or 2 Void Rays, then 3 or 4 Phoenixes out, that's when queens start to be useless. And at that point, you definitely need to have some Spore Crawlers, and Sen has everything timed out just perfectly for that.
All right, he's making some more gateways. Note there is the second Void Ray out now on the map. And I don't know if we'll get much more after that. Eventually you have to transition out of this because the Zerg can start defending from Void Rays much quicker than the Protoss can kind of increment them out.
Well, Sen right now, he has 57 drones. No more on the way for the moment. Nanoa at 46 probes. But 3 base against 2 base spread, the economy of Sen is actually a lot better. Now what he's going to have to do is just defend against Void Rays perfectly, and it's very interesting. No Phoenixes yet. Just 2 Void Rays with another one on the way, and in fact, as the next one pops out, another Void Ray started. So it looks like what Nanoa's going to do is just lightly harass with the Void Rays, and then hit a timing attack with gateway units and Void Rays, which is extremely strong against a Roach-based army, which Sen is actually producing right now.
You know, it's interesting because Sen is doing such a good job of defending here. It's at the point in time where supply is starting to pick up, but hold that thought. We have the Void Rays now hitting the Queens.
Oh, beautiful transfusion right there, forcing one of the Void Rays back. Looks like he will lose 1 Queen, but the Spore Crawler does relocate, and oh my god, Nanoa just gonna go for it. Oh, second target on the hurt. Void Ray doesn't quite kill it, but another Queen coming up for the flank, but nothing to flank into. Beautiful play by both players here. And a lot of injured Void Rays, but will Sen be able to kill him?
Oh, this is so beautiful. Of all 4 Void Rays still alive, and a lot of the Queens have been taken out here, so there's not really a ton of defense. If you can focus fire those Void Rays and get them charged up.
Look at that. Nice force fields going up, keeping those all in place. A couple Queens coming up from behind, targeting down Void Rays. One of the Void Rays floats into a Spore. Only 2 Voids left. Sen somehow miraculously holding this attack so far.
It looks like more Protoss units have managed to merge up with the rest. He has drones not mining right now, as he needs everything he can to defend. Now sitting in the back, realizing there might be a lull in the storm here.
Well, we have 4 Queens right now and a lot of Roaches out, and a lot of Queens is how you deal with the mass Void Ray build. That 1 Queen in the front taking a lot of damage. Beautiful transfusion on the Queen in the front, but the Queen in the front should be using transfusion as well. A huge warp in here by Nanoa, and I don't know if Sen has what it takes to hold this.
All right, the Roach is now moving back, and this might be that critical mass that can just run you over. He needs to get some more Roaches out. There's 14 on the way, but that's still not quite an answer to all of these Void Rays. Note he's continuing to juggle his charge here on the Zealots. He wants to keep them charged up for as long as humanly possible. And he looks like he will continue to keep them charged up all the way into this battle now.
Well, he does have a few spores in there, but Nanoa expertly microing away his Void Rays, taking as little damage as is possible. And this is just becoming too big an army right now for Nanoa. But Sen with a huge Roach macro, 9 more Roaches on the way. Hydralisk Den is about to finish. Artos is getting nerd chills because this game is so on the ropes right now.
As you can see, he's throwing in a few more force fields. The Void Rays doing some more damage. Spore Crawler gone. Roaches coming up from behind here. I don't know how many more force fields are left, but they should be running out of them pretty soon here.
Oh my God, does Sen have a chance to hold this? There's still a lot of sentries, still a lot of stalkers, but he does have a lot more Roaches coming out, as well as some Hydralisks, and Hydras are great against Void Rays.
All right, he needs to target down the Void Rays badly. Here he comes from behind.
A nice flank by Sen, but Nanoa may in fact have too much. 6 more Hydras and 3 more Queens on the way.
Oh!
The drone's doing a huge job! And oh my God, more and more gateway units are coming in, but those drones are gonna go down in 2 seconds.
Oh my God, it's actually still so hard to tell who's gonna win this. Only 1 Void Ray left, and once that Void Ray goes away, it'll be much easier for the Zerg to hold off this attack here.
These Hydras doing a great job as well. The last force field's being used, the last sentry about to die. It does go down. The most insane micro battle of the tournament thus far still going on. Zealots and sentries being warped in. Oh my God, tasteless.
I cannot believe how good this game is right now. Now here's the problem right now is Naniwa was not back in his base doing much to improve his economy or help himself out that much. So, I don't know, man. I mean, this is a pretty scary situation right now. I don't know if Naniwa can recover. I don't think he was making probes that entire time. We didn't get many shots of it, but it was mostly just attacking units. Of course, in fairness, Sen did lose a lot of drones trying to hold that off. So, I mean, they both took some heavy hits.
In fact, 42 drones against 45 probes. Sen now starting to add some drones in, but still making Roaches. He knows that Nanoa still has a very sizable army. As long as Sen doesn't get caught out in the open here, like it looks like he might still have a chance here. But Nanoa catching him out in the open, as said before. And the Queen does go down with a few Roaches. Sen's army very small right now, but his supply still very large.
All right, he's continuing to close in now. The Hydras and the Roaches coming here, and I'm really starting to think Sen might have a shot here. There is no third base right now. The pylon is pretty far out on the map right now, so even if he pushes forward, it's pretty hard to reinforce.
Oh, Sen has to be careful. He should not be getting off creep right now with this Hydra-based army. He should be on the creep, but he might be looking for a counterattack as he has a lot more units popping out. And here it goes! A lot of force fields going up by Nanoa, always choosing the right place to engage, killing off so many units. I think any other Protoss in the world would actually be dead right now, and I'm not just saying that. This is absolutely insane. He is holding off these huge armies of Sen.
This is a game that only these two players put together could ever create. To be totally honest, this is just so awesome.
Well, Sen continues to only macro units as well as Nanoa. These guys are just not switching up what they're doing, and here we go. This attack might be the end of the game. Does Sen have enough Hydras? Oh my God, a lot of force fields and guardian shields right now, but Nanoa looks like he might lose this. The huge concave of the Hydras doing a great job. Beautiful micro by Nanoa up to the top where the Hydras are slow, and he does retreat. Nanoa not ready to give up yet.
He should end up losing this pylon over here. Yeah, he absolutely will. And this means now Nanoa has been stuffed into the back corner of the map with Sen in complete control of this game.
Well, we have Lings and Roaches being added right now. I love the switch over. 2 Lings for Sen. He wants some more mobile units to help flank off Nanoa's army as he keeps running away from Hydras. But Nano at the same time decides, okay, it's time to go home. That's as many good battles, as many good engagements as I can do. And he's going to take a 3rd base. Perfect timing on that. But Sen looks like he's just macroing up to try to get a victory.
Hydras and Roaches moving out. I think right now Sen's decided that he should be able to just kill Naniwa as the 3rd base is making, and frankly, I don't really blame him for probably going for this maneuver. I mean, Naniwa is somebody who really bounces back. We saw in the previous game where he was injured so badly early on, he still managed to last that long, and Sen doesn't have nearly the lead he had in game number 1, so the timing attack is probably the best option here.
Well, this attack has to do something. Nanoa has to hold it beautifully because he is down by 40 supply. and a 40 supply deficit is a huge one. But on this map, he might have enough force fields to actually do it, but he has to get into position. Here we go. Nanoa does walk over into position. Can he hold off this gigantic act? Beautiful force field so far. All he has to do is pick up little pieces of Sen's army, and notice Sen does back up quite a bit here.
And he only needs 1 or 2 more of those, cutting that army up in half while he warps in more units. Remember, the creep is not spread all the way across the map. And if Naniwa can drive that Zerg army out, the game will go on. And in this case, guys, the Zerg army is going out, so I guess the game will go on.
Indeed it will. Absolutely epic play. Sen taking his 4th base, as you see here. And, you know, the difference in supply was 30 before that attack, okay? But after that attack, it went down about 15, 20, and Sen knew immediately, okay, hold on. This is just too cost inefficient for me. So now we're going to have a 3-base Protoss against what is right now a 3-base Zerg, but Sen is going to have to switch over hugely to drones, really drone up his 4th base, and then switch into whatever tech he wants to try to kill Nanoa with again.
All right, well, here's the problem right now for Sen is he opted to attack when he honestly could have just expanded again. Now, I don't really blame Sen for doing that timing attack. I would have done the same thing. I would have tried to end it. But, yeah, I mean, oh, my God, hold that thought. There are 15 mutas on the way.
Mutas being produced. Sen loves to do huge muta switches. It's not like you just make a Spire and make 4 or 5 mutas and then 4 or 5 more and just keep making them. No, Sen, he lets his money pool for a minute. He can always make Roaches and Hydras if he needs to, if he's attacked during that time, but then spends it all at once. And an influx of about 15 mutas into Nanoa's base to harass him is going to be so, so deadly.
And you know, you're totally right, Artosis. And one of the factors with this is it's such a tempo mix-up. Is the mutas arrive there all at once. Can we get a shot of the bottom center of the map? There we go. The mutas now moving out.
And here they go into that natural base. Blink is not done yet, so these Stalkers not going to be too useful at the moment. And Sen just continues to produce Mutalisks. I am loving this.
Oh my
play
God,
by Sen.
a counterattack at the bottom right.
Oh, beautiful play here by Sen, but does he have enough? A lot of force use. Oh no, it looks like Nanoa with a huge misclick right there. Totally not like Nanoa, but loses a few units extra. In the meantime, his mutas are still trying to harass, but do end up flying away right there. Looks like he's going to go join up with the main part of his army. And this part is
really
huge.
Nice force fields there. But, you know, the mutas meeting up here, there may just be too much Zerg everything doing so much damage
Sen
here.
is maxed out during all this against 115 supply Tasteless. Absolutely insane macro by Sen.
This Nexus goes down.
Oh, GG.
Wow.
Wow. What a game right
Oh my
there.
God. That game,
Well,
both those games were just, I mean, it's really something to remember. I'm never going to forget casting those games. I hope you guys never forget watching them because that was a rare set. Let's just give it up for that game one more time. Both those games, excuse me, that series.
guys, I know we waited a long, long time for that match.
Yeah, I know. It was worth it.
It was worth it.
I know we've introduced the game like 4 times, but thank God we got to cast that one because that game was, both those games were just absolutely beautiful.
All right. Well, our next match is going to be Moon against Sase. It's going to be a lot of fun. Yeah, a couple of old Warcraft 3 pro gamers going at it. A great Zerg against an amazing Protoss. Cannot wait. And that might be our last set tonight. It is getting a little bit late here, but we will get back to you on that. So we're going to close out to a quick commercial, and hopefully we'll be right back and get some Moon vs. Sase going.
Yeah, so stay tuned, guys. We'll be back with Moon vs. Sase in just a little bit.
Hello again, everybody. We are back for another amazing match here at the PPSL. It is going to be Sase against Moon.
It's going to be a pretty exciting match. You guys having fun so far? Such a treat to be down here in the Philippines. We're going to go right into this game because it's getting a little bit late over here. Sase against Moon. Moon, known as the fifth race from Warcraft 3, a legend. And of course, Sase, another incredibly notable Warcraft 3 player. Here in StarCraft 2, I don't know who's going to win. Moon's had a lot of success. People expected him to have a little bit more success early on in his career, but he's still around. He's still here. Sase has been kicking a lot of ass. I've been really impressed with this guy. I can't wait to get this game going. Over here in the bottom left, in the red, make some noise for one of the smartest Protosses I've ever had the opportunity to cast, Sase. Meanwhile, in the upper right, in the blue, the fifth race from Warcraft 3, make some noise for Moon.
Well, the map is Shakuris Plateau. Both the players amazingly talented with huge resumes, both in their previous games and in StarCraft 2 as well. And, two players that we haven't seen win any championships, but I think we will for both. Moon's come close a few times, and Sase is still really coming up the ranks. He's actually, in my opinion, right now, the dark horse in every tournament he's in until he's one of the favorites. That's the way we have to view him. He's so good.
Yeah, I think you're totally right, Artosis. I mean, Sase, we've had the opportunity to see Sase play in the Golem TV house, and I got to say, it is damn impressive. And might I add, if we can just get a shot here of the Protoss' entrance, this is a rare thing to see on this map. You do not normally see a one-base build on this map. Normally it's a fast expand.
Oh, absolutely. But, I know Sase very, very well and the types of styles that he likes to use. And I would be willing to bet my bottom dollar he is going to go one gateway up here and then expand and make two gateways at his natural choke right there where you're looking at to finish his wall off. So really do expect to see something just like that coming up.
Now, do you think this build is actually better than the Forge First, or do you think it's just different?
You know, it's just different right now. There's no way to tell exactly which build is the best. We don't have enough games played in StarCraft 2. It's just one way to approach it. And, not going for a Forge First makes it so that the Zerg can't get too greedy. He can't do something like a third hatchery real quick.
Well, as you can see, the Zerglings are moving out. The Zealot will be done in about a second here. And as you can see, all of the openers here, or these build orders as we call them in StarCraft 2, are very neatly timed out. So everything is at the last second. Corners are cut when they can be cut. And
notice that Moon actually got really quick Zerglings out. This would have been much better against a normal build on this map. But Sase, with his ultra-conservative wall in at his main ramp, is going to easily deal with this.
And we see the scouting probe continuing to move around the map. Note Sase chrono boosting here, and he's getting hallucinate right away, guys.
Yeah, I think he's going to probably cancel that, though. He wants the Zerglings to see that core turning, but that is just too weird for me to accept if he actually goes.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, he's still going.
First. It's actually
what is happening? Okay, so this. Obviously, guys, for those of you who are not familiar with StarCraft 2, hallucinate, the ability to make fake units. Now, I don't know what you do this early with hallucinate. Maybe make a quick Phoenix, which is pretty common to scout with it. But
a Zergling just got into Sase's base tasteless, a pretty big deal. A Stalker did clean it up, but he saw that the second gas had just started and saw only two gates. It's a lot of information. And in fact, he's still getting hallucinate. I wonder if this is a mistake now.
Yeah, do you think it is?
He might have misclicked and hit hallucinate instead of warp gate because he has no sentries. And there you go. He just finished hallucinate with no sentries. Okay.
Guys, I think we just watched Sase drop the ball.
All right. Well, that's all right. He has...
All right, so warp gate starting. So we just saw an incredibly huge mistake. And I can only imagine the profanity and curse words going on in Sase's mind right now because this is so bad right now.
That is a very bizarre thing to get first, but we see right now Zerglings in the middle of the map chasing these Stalkers. Stalkers and Zerglings at the same speed. As long as you don't get surrounded, you will outrun them. and Sase will back up and make his expand at home. This is very unlike anything I've seen Sase do. But again, I think that we can chalk it up to him actually misclicking, wanting to get that warp gate, but instead getting hallucinate.
Well, you know, here's one factor. Let's keep in mind. Moon does not know that Sase made a mistake. So, I mean, he might not. He doesn't. There's no way for him to tell that hallucinate's there. I mean,
and
he might not know to capitalize on it. He might see this weird hallucination timing. So the question is whether or not Sase can kind of improvise his way out of this.
And, you know, I don't even see Sase as actually being behind even after that. Right now it's 31 drones with 26 probes, and a lot of those drones just popped out. He made a lot of Zerglings early on that did absolutely zero, and then Sase did a little pressure, which made Moon make a ton more Zerglings. So, I mean, he has 17 Zerglings right now, which used to be 18, which used to be 20. So the fact that he has, like, about 8 less drones than he really could have, that is a huge difference.
Yeah, that's very true. So we see right now that Zerg is pretty much in control of the map right now. And we have a robotic facility on the way. 2 more gases being taken here at the Protoss expansion. And I think Sase's managed to avoid catastrophe so far. He has managed to get out of the situation. I mean, if Moon knew, man, he could have just killed him. But there's no way for Moon to have assumed that, so I guess the game will go on.
Well, this is quite interesting because Sase right now, he's just got a robotics facility. We don't see the support bay, and there we go. Just as I say that, he does put up a support bay, and this means a super, super quick Colossus. And with this quick Colossus and already having hallucination, I wonder if Sase is going to plan out some insane timing attack using a lot of hallucinated units, you know, to really scare the Zerg player.
Yeah, I mean, you know, there's a lot of things he could do. He could make a few extra Colossus that aren't even there. He could do a multitude of different things that could surprise the Zerg, scare the Zerg away. Moon, especially being the best Warcraft 3 player, basically of all time, he's somebody who's going to pick his battles whenever he knows he can win. So he's definitely somebody who would run away from an attack that, you know, he thinks he's going to lose. So we'll see.
Oh, absolutely. Well, we are going to see, there we go, the Thermal Lance gets started immediately, as you see right there. Moon continuing to scout up, just sees a Chrono Boosted Forge, nothing out of the ordinary with that. The Colossus timing, though, might catch him a little bit off guard.
Let's see here. The Observer now scouting and seeing the third base here from Moon is going to give Sase some options. Sase can move out and think to himself that he has a chance of being victorious. I don't know if he'll even use Hallucinate, guys, but we got it early, so I'm just wondering.
I don't know, man. I mean, if you get it early, a lot of times a smart player like Sase will try to find some way to work it into his strategy. It makes him look like he didn't really make a mistake sometimes. But anyways, we have for Moon right now, he's getting Burrow, he's getting that plus armor. No plus attack, interestingly enough, because he is going Ling Roach. It looks like he wants an upgrade that hits both. And also getting Burrow movement and Burrow. So he's definitely going to be very Roach heavy. And I wonder how this is actually going to work out, though, because being Roach heavy with some Lings and getting armor as opposed to attack, I mean, the Robotech of Sase is going to work very well against this.
All right, Moon, I got to hand it to the guy. He's gotten so good about his creep spread, pushing out on the map. The Evolution Chamber is on the way here. And it's not uncommon for Protoss to push out around this period of time and wipe out the creep and turn around. We'll see if he does that this time around, but
yeah.
Okay, so here goes. All right. Give me some crazy hallucination stuff, Sase.
I'm waiting for it as well.
I know, right?
Looks like he's switching over to Immortals at this moment, and that's a really smart move. You know, and wow,
that was the craziest force field I've ever seen. I don't know if that's worth 2 centuries, but
that is a wild Zergling merry-go-round right there.
Notice, guys, he burrowed those underground.
Yeah, very smart move right
Hard
there.
to get a good shot of that there.
No reason to lose 10 more Zerglings. May as well go ahead and burrow. They aren't going to do anything behind those. And there you go, trying to go back down.
Nice.
Oh, and Moon somehow gets away with almost all of them. Well, right now we see Sase is beginning to poke out onto the map a little bit. He does have that Observer with him, so the burrow tactics won't be quite as useful against him. Only 3 sentries in that army. So he's got to be careful. With only 3 sentries, you can only do so much against mass Roachling. Is moving up, taking out some of these creep tumors. A very good move to do, whether you want to attack or not.
All right, this angle could be good for the Zerg here. Oh my god, he's on top of those Colossi.
Beautiful by Moon right now. Taking out one Colossi, the second one taken out, and Moon retreats. Beautiful move by Moon.
Wow, look at that, just running everywhere. Now he burrowed, but there's an observer, so that might have been a blunder there.
Sase trapping those roaches for a moment, giving a lot of damage to them, but Moon smartly escapes 15 more roaches on the way. More and more immortals being made by Sase, but a Hydralisk then being put up as he realizes these immortals will get out of hand very soon.
Now remember, they can... hold that thought. I want to see where Sase is going to go with this. No, he's not going to engage here. Okay, I didn't think it'd be a good idea. Now, we might see Sase go ahead and try to make a Nexus at this point in time. There are Zerglings checking both the possible Nexus locations. So right now, I got to say, Moon is looking very good.
Well, it looks like the force field's being put up right now. The Immortal really helping a ton, but are there actually too many roaches here, even with Guardian Shields, Stalkers, Zealots, and that lone Immortal?
I think there's just...
Oh my god.
He took out the Immortal and backed up. There's not a lot of force fields left for these sentries.
That's right.
A lot more Stalkers come up here.
Well, we have a lot more roaches coming out as well. The force fields are almost used up. And when the force field energy is getting low, you are going to be in a lot of trouble with the Protoss army. You really have to have some big muscle behind it. By the way, in the meantime, we have not had Sase take any more bases. He's pretty much stopped pro production at just 46 against the 69 drones of his opponent Moon. And Moon has, of course, the 3 bases. So Moon really looking much better in a long-term game here. Sase is really going to have to bank upon a lot of micro, and the Immortals doing a great job.
Basically, guys, Sase's game plan is not long-term. He wants to end this as soon as humanly possible. He started out with the wrong build. He's in a weird position. He's uncomfortable. He obviously has to try to go with it because it's best out of 3.
Well, looks like he's
if I were him, go ahead, Artosis.
Start moving forward right here. Trying to pick off that little spine crawler. And, ooh, nice move there. But where is the Observer?
Where's the Observer?
Oh, if he had an Observer right now, Moon would be really caught in a terrible spot.
Oh my god, the Observer slept in.
And will kill just a couple roaches there. Unfortunately, his Observer way out of position. That could have been very good for Sase, but as is, he is about 50 supply behind. Moon is max, but 17 Hydras still in production, so he wants to wait for them, but Sase forcing him to attack right now.
I don't know if there's enough force fields here. I think if he had a few more, this outcome might look different. But as you guys probably know, the concave tends to beat the convex. And this is a pretty sick surround. Hydra's coming in from behind. This may be the end of Sase here. Sase with no additional bases, and Moon taking a 4th.
These Hydras doing a ton of damage. A few Lings coming as well. Cannot underestimate those. And GG. Looks like Moon going to take game number 1 against Sase. Very strong play there by Moon. You know, Sase, though, I have to say, that game, I think, boiled down a lot to his mistake in the early game. Getting a quick hallucination for absolutely no reason, and it looked like he wanted to do just a little Zealot-heavy pressure with a couple Stalkers mixed in. If he had had Warp Gate finish, he has 2 more units during that. He doesn't have to pull back as quickly. He can force more units. Everything's different. So,
yeah, he's
big
totally
mistake.
right. Yeah. You know, that's why it's called a build order. Is each sequence that you do is so important because it's like building blocks. If you start out with a bad foundation, well then you can't build a house there, you can't build a castle there, whatever. And his foundation was
castle
bad.
Floats like Nestees.
That's right. So I think we're gonna get this next game going here as soon as humanly possible. I think Sase right now. Look, you and I have experience as professional gamers when we hit one wrong key in a game and it costs us the game.
Absolutely. And that is what high-level RTS is all about. If you make one small mistake like that and you don't catch it instantly, and sometimes even if you do, that can cost you the game. And, I mean, everything is going to come down to mere seconds, small amounts of units. You know, if he has 2 more units there, maybe he can kill a queen, maybe he can kill a few drones, and maybe that gives him the edge he needs. It's very detrimental to your spirit as a pro gamer to actually have that
your
hallucination
soul.
finish, try to do warp gate and be like, oh, wait a minute, I have hallucination and 0 sentries.
Yeah, that you cannot get into a situation where it's more useless to have that than that. I believe we're trying to figure out which map this will be on, and when we get that map, we will start this game as soon as humanly possible. Is there anybody in the audience who thinks that Sase can come back and win this? Anybody rooting for Sase? All right, is there anybody in the audience who says, no, I don't like Sase, I want Moon to 2-0? No, see you guys.
That guy right there does,
There's that guy
man.
over there in the green on the far right. Okay, 1% of you. All right. So you guys just want to see as many games as possible. Is that the case?
I think so, Tasteless, and we are with you guys on that.
Yeah, I want to see as
all
many
night
games
long,
as
right?
humanly
No tomorrow.
possible.
Well,
Well, we're still looking over the maps. And let's go ahead and sit tight here. So I have a question. How many of you guys just watch StarCraft or are watching maybe on the balcony up here? How many of you guys just watch and maybe you've never played before? Can you guys make some noise? So it's none of you. All right. So let me just check for clarification. So you guys all play StarCraft? All right.
wow.
All right.
That is quite a
now we
StarCraft
know.
community,
Okay.
man.
I sometimes meet people who just watch, okay? I'm not a crazy
there's a lot
person.
of them out there.
They're out there.
Absolutely.
There might be closet nerds in the audience. I don't know. You're just trying to hide this fact, but they're out there. So
We do have
He's-
the map choice. It's going to be Daybreak. I like that map, Tasteless. It always makes long macro games. You very rarely see a game end there early, and I think this will be no different.
Yeah, I think Daybreak is the map that makes for the longest games, especially TDZ.
Well, it's the longest map.
Yeah. I mean, it's not the biggest, but it's the
No.
longest.
Yeah, and therefore the longest games. Just like the biggest map always makes the biggest games. All right, so we are downloading that map. We will get that ready ASAP.
Now, of course, Sase, again, does have to get his mind back in the game. Sase is a really good player, but even the best in the world make mistakes.
Yeah, he's a very smart player as well. A lot of his game is based around using his strengths and his opponent's weaknesses. You know, he plans for series very well. He really scouts a good deal in the mid game. I like the way he goes about scouting a lot of aggression, a lot of hallucinations, a lot of the time. Not that game, LOL. But, you know, he gets observers out there. He really checks out the map and does things that are very, very smart. So the fact that he chose to go Daybreak against Moon, that's no mistake. Moon is a guy that doesn't normally over-drone. He's not a guy that you normally see on 100 drones. It's much more like last game, high 60s. And against a Zerg like that, if you can get 75 probes up in 3 to 4 bases, it's going to be beautiful.
All right, guys, the game is starting, so make some noise for Sase against Moon here at the IPL PPSL. All right, so let's see. Can Sase get back in the zone? The sign of a really good player is one who can erase the negative parts of his past, the ones that won't help him. And let's see here. All right, so on to the game. In the bottom left, winning that game quite easily. Some of the best micro in the world. Give it up for Moon. Meanwhile, in the only other starting location in the upper right, we have a player who had a rough game. He made one small mistake, and it caused a mountain of trouble. He needs to come back now. Make some noise for Sase.
We have quite a cheer for Sase going up, but we know that you guys just want a game number 3.
Nice
No,
try,
I'm
guys. You're not
joking,
fooling
me,
us, all
guys.
right?
I see you. All right, so we actually have Moon doing a very quick spawning pool this time. It's actually going for, it looks like about a 9, or is that actually an 8 pool maybe? That's a very
I
quick
think that's an
spawning
8
pool.
pull.
Wow, that's...
Is it an 8 pull?
Well, he wants to get aggression on right away. That is for certain, but the probe is there. It sees the pool, and that is huge, Tasteless. Now Sase's going to have to think, okay, what was that pool on, and exactly how do I defend this? Does he try to get the cannon at the natural? Can he time that out? Or does Sase get a pylon in his main base and cannon up there? That is the question. And for Sase, it's going to be kind of hard because he practices a great majority of his practice on the ladder, which Daybreak is not a part of.
Okay, I want to chime in about what Artosis said because it's really important. Even though he knows that the Zerglings are coming, he has to wait for that forge to finish. See, just now finished. But he has to get the Zerglings, the cannon up before the Zerglings get there in time. So the question is, what if he made it a second or two too late and the Zerglings just run up the ramp and win the game? The other option, like you said, you make that pylon in your main. You're guaranteed to protect your main, but then you're in this weird debacle. Now, the Zerglings are headed up there. I think Sase's mapped this out right.
Yeah. It definitely
looks like it's actually fine.
That will finish before the Zerglings get there. He has no fear, as it is a
very nice.
Oh!
All right, so he made a pylon where the hatchery is supposed to be. So that means that the Zerglings have two choices. Try to commit and do some damage, or turn around and invest in the late game.
Well, I don't think these Zerglings are going to do very much damage. The first one goes down. One is at home, and that leaves just 4 left over. And against one photon cannon, that's not something you want to fight, Tasteless. That is not a battle you're ever going to win.
Okay, so as you can see, the positioning of the structures here is just so important.
Tasteless. In the Zerg main base, we see 2 gases. And guess what, guys? This means that we are either going to see a Baneling bust, or we are going to see... there you go. We see a Roach Horn is about to be made there.
He's going to make a Roach Horn.
There it is.
Besides, the feng shui of his base will be better if the Roach Horn is over here.
Need the flow of the creep, man.
That's
it's very important. But we are going to see an all-in by Moon. That it is as simple as that. He may even add in Banelings to it. Absolutely, it's a possibility. And if Sase is not ready for that, then Moon will just kill him. So Moon is very all-in at this point. He realizes that blunders have been made. His Zergling rush did less than nothing. He put Sase ahead, and the pylon put Moon even more far behind.
And the reason why Moon is keeping these Zerglings here is because Sase can't actually send probes there. As you can see, the distance, the cannon doesn't quite cover that. Yep. So that kind of... What Artosis?
I'm sorry, Tasteless.
Oh, go back to the main.
There you go. He canceled for a Baneling Nest. So this is normally what you're going to see off of the double gas. And this is going to be deadly, man. I don't know if Sase can actually hold this.
Yeah, the cannon is in a position where it can be hit.
Tasteless. Instead of Warp Gate, he's actually getting +1 air attack.
Okay, yeah. Can we click on the Cybernetic score?
This one, though, is intentional.
Yeah, this is intentional.
It looks like he wants to go for a Mass Phoenix build here. That's definitely what it looks like. He's already getting his additional gases, but he's not even getting a single sentry. Guess what 2 Zealots and 1 cannon do against Mass Baneling?
Not much.
That's right, Tasteless.
Other than die.
They die to it. I guess that's a
lot,
if that counts,
actually. Then, yeah, they're good at that.
That's quite a bit. So Moon is actually about to just go kill Sase here. Sorry, I want to make this super exciting for you guys, but that is 10 Banelings, guys.
Oh, no.
That is 10 Banelings against 1 cannon and 2 Zealots that are out of position.
Okay.
So
is he going to see the... No, I'm sorry, they're over there.
All right, so here we go!
All right, we're going to hit the pylon and the...
And Moon taking out the pylon and all. I mean, what are you going to do against this? Make a Void Ray? No. Everything is going to die. This is an absolute massacre.
And this is the problem. Those probes, not a lot they can do against this. The gateway's unpowered. There's no cannon. The probes are being massacred. And I'm sorry, guys, but it's just that simple. Moon is that good. He had the right response. He did not make mistakes in his build like Sase did, and that's what...
That's a lot of red probes, Tasteless. And those will die in about 2 seconds. And we'll be seeing a GG. Well, guys, I'm really sorry we didn't get to see that Game 3. I know you were looking for it.
I know.
But, in fact, Moon was just too good this time. Taking it 2-0 against Sase. Very decisive play by Moon in that game number 2.
Yeah.
I'm really a fan of extremely decisive plays. He says, you know what? I've already fallen too far behind. I'm going to do a very sharp all-in. And if he doesn't prepare perfectly for it, I'm still going to pick up the win. It's reasons like that that Moon is so strong.
Well, it's sad. I mean, parts of that game, especially that first game, were a bit of a train wreck. But, I mean, that's competition. You have to do as many correct moves in a sequential order in order to come out on top. And, he made probably one of the most important moves in game number 1. It wasn't there, and it was actually replaced with something that just does not give you any advantage in any way, shape, or form. So, great games by Moon.
Indeed, it was. Well, guys, it's getting pretty late here. That was, in fact, the last match of the night. But, of course, we are going to... I'm sorry, guys.
We're going to be here all day tomorrow. What are you guys doing?
Don't go to your classes. Come back tomorrow. We're going to have so many great games tomorrow as we have to finish up the tournament.
Yeah. And it looks like all the... we do apologize here at the PPSL for some of the delays early on.
Technology, vehicle, esports.
Yeah. Well, look,
all that.
I've been doing esports events for 7 years. I can tell you sometimes the logistics of this stuff is actually just like...
It's pretty crazy.
It's pretty complicated.
So tomorrow we're going to start at 11 a.m. Philippines time. And that is it for the night, guys. So thank you for watching.
Thank you guys for being such a great audience. Join us tomorrow as we finish the story of the PPSL and see who is going to move on and win this tournament. I'm Tesis. With me is Artosis. It was a treat casting for you guys for the Casting Archon. Good night. I'll see you tomorrow.